That's funny. I was just showing you stuff and it wasn't recording. Let's try again. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to my Flosstube. My name's Margaret. This is my channel, Maggie Lou Stitches, where I talk about all things cross stitch and related creativities, and books get thrown in, and cats, and anything else that I want to talk about on my channel. I'm feeling so grateful for Flosstube though, because, well, I always am. I mean, what a beautiful community of people. And however, like lately, I haven't recorded in a while, and so I've had a lot of cross stitch activity, and I really want to talk about it. And really, it saves my family from having to hear me go on and on. There was once I was trying to tell Matthew something, my husband, and he did say, "Wait, haven't you got a Flosstube for this?" And I said, "Yes, but you get this special behind the scenes chat." And he was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." I know. So anyway, very happy to be here and chatting about cross stitch. I have new starts, I have some little finishes, I have inspiration, I do have books. I think I've said all that. Let's go. Let's go. And let me start by showing you just a cute little finish that I did that I've been meaning to do for ages. And that is this little guy, which I finished a few months ago. It was a free stitch from the Cute Patterns by Maria Facebook page group, I do believe. And I think it's a cutie framed up. I've laced it. It fits in the frame, so you know you can't see my good lacing job on the back. But I did a proper framing because I'm trying to get into the habit of doing that. I want to start taking on more of my own framing, even bigger ones. But anyway, so I just did a little one. Cute, huh? Yes, Cute Patterns by Maria is an appropriate name for her patterns. Okay, that's my first finish. Next, I finished my Zentangle project, my opus tile, and so I'll show it to you. Hold on, and I don't know if I'll be putting a sequence here of all the steps that got to the finished part of this. I think I've got all the photos of that. I hope I do that. But anyway, here's the finished project. So this is a Zentangle on an opus tile in the colour Renaissance. And the reason the colour Renaissance is different to just doing it on a cream tile, like the other ones I've shown you, is because of the opportunity to use white. This is white pencil highlights throughout. And it's quite funny too, just looking at it now. There's a part of me that wants to straighten it because of this pattern and this pattern. It's not straight, it's a bit, and that's the thing about Zentangle. You don't use rulers, you don't aim for perfection. It is freehand, it is organic. You just draw and it comes out as it comes out. And I like that about it. I do not want to be sort of perfectionist about it, but it is funny now that I'm showing it. I kind of half want, no, is it? No. Which is quite funny. Maybe I'll do it this way and it doesn't. Anyway, that's my latest Zentangle piece. And I haven't started a new one, but I will. I sort of nearly sat down to do one yesterday, but I stitched instead. But yeah, I'll be doing another one of those soon. Right. Onto my current projects, and I've just got them piled here in no particular order, so we're probably going to see whips and new starts and mixed in together. And actually the first one is a new start that I haven't even started yet, but I'm going to present it because I decided I needed some more butterflies in my life. Now that I've finished my big full coverage butterfly, I needed some more. And you know, this is a 2004 kit, and I reckon over the last 20 years I have seen this often whenever I've gone to craft stores, Spotlight, Lin Craft, anything like that. This has been there, but I wasn't in my cross stitch phase then, so I just would notice it with the others and just go, yeah. But so I was sort of familiar with it but had forgotten about it. And then Flosstube alert. Oh my goodness. Then I was watching on the 10th of April, Liliana from I'll Be Stitching Forever posted a whip parade, and I really encourage you to go and watch that whip parade. Such a variety of whips. She actually has 53 whips, and like kudos to her, because it is only a 50-minute video, which we know for an extended whip parade, that is actually quite short, because she does it in a really efficient and just enjoyable format. So that was really good. And in that whip parade was this butterfly. And so I pressed pause on the video, and I got online to see if I could buy it anywhere, and actually found it on sale and pressed buy and bought it. And so now and the other reason I want to stitch it is because it's one of the ones that comes on printed fabric, has a printed background. And I just think that's going to be a really lovely effect that doesn't need to be stitched. Which is funny to say that when we like stitching and we're buying things to avoid stitching. But you know, I just think that's going to be a lovely effect, and I haven't done anything like this. So I'm all ready to go, literally. Actually, the only reason I haven't put stitches in it yet, I was going to last night, and I made myself wash the fabric first, just to get rid of a bit of that stiffness, and it has helped a little bit. And so I was kind of like, don't sit and stitch, go and wash it. Okay, the mum in me told me to do that. So I'm ready to start that today, and I'm looking forward to that. So thank you, Liliana, for your very excellent whip parade that encouraged me to go and find this. I'm really glad to have it. Okay, 2 down. Next is my favorite whip. Well, one of my favorite whips. Oh, in the time of BTS's world tour, here we have my boys. Okay, so we now have a completed RM and gin. And that means, so I finished gin this month, and that means just down here, I'm starting our next fellow that you all have to meet and learn about. And his name is Min Yoongi. Stage name, Sugar. Solo stage name, August D. Affectionately known as Yoongi. So I just think this is looking fabulous. This is on 40 count linen, 1/2, and these are my boys who are touring the world, who are currently in America, who have just performed in Tampa and El Paso, and are next going on to Las Vegas, I think, where the lovely Rachel, the Nutmeg Stitcher, is getting to go and see them. And I am jealous, and I wish her all the best, and I can't wait to hear about it. I'm very happy with this project and how it's coming along. Thank you, Marie, again, for gifting it to me. Marie did say something funny to me though. I just have to say this. When I was starting RM, I just said, you know, I'm cracking along at this. And she sort of said, oh, I've been doing it for months. She said, honestly, after a while, it just goes on. So much stitching. And I went, oh, I think it's fabulous. Honestly, when I'm down in these parts, it's like, God, there's 5 more of these to do. So you're right, Marie. I think I'll be feeling differently about it. I guess it's just the monochrome nature of it. Even though it has lots of not lots, it has more than just black and white. There's purples and greens in there. Anyway, see, I just like talking about this stuff. That's my BTS boys. Okay, oh, next we have a new start. I hate it when I forget to write things down, and I have forgotten to do that with this. That's really annoying. But listen, I decided it was time that I needed a Biscornu, which for my non-stitchy friends watching, hello, I know there's a few of you, a Biscornu is a fancy word for pincushion, but it is constructed in a slightly different way. Oh, I need to go and get the iPad to show you this. This is the Blossom Biscornu by Fuzzy Fox Designs, Rachel at Fuzzy Fox Designs. I just saw it and went, I need a Biscornu sitting on my stitchy table next to me just for prettiness. And I love this. It uses, you'll see, I chose to do it exactly as that, and that is a skein of Cottage Garden Threads in colour Harriet. And I haven't used Cottage Garden Threads before. Oh, just 10 out of 10 for the packaging. That's what I'll say. Anybody who's used it before knows how good it is just to untwist it, be able to use it straight from the cardboard packaging and store it like that. Like, very happy with that. So anyway, that is what it looks like. And I've got a really good start on it because there is the front. Now, all I've got to do is the beads on the front. I have decided you can use French knots or beads, and I'm going with beads because I haven't beaded anything for a long time, and I decided this is the time. So that is very pretty, and I'm looking forward to making that. And it's nice to have a small project on the go as well, because, you know, I'm getting more and more projects, so it's stretching out the completion date of many of them, except for this one. This one will be, you know, you'll be seeing it soon, I hope. That's the plan. So that's my new start. Very happy with that. Okay. Next, we have my project that I'm stitching for my niece, Amy. And just clean it up a bit. And here's Floral Boho Girl, coming along nicely. So this time I worked all down here. And doing this here was very confetti, kind of annoying, and well, not annoying, but it just was what it was, just. And so I wanted to get that out of the way and just keep stitching down so that I'd at least get to the bottom as well. Like I said before, because I'm going right to the edges of this fabric, it makes me feel more confident to go to the edge of the fabric and then see, yeah, it fits. I know it's going to fit, but yeah. So I think she's looking fabulous on my 28 count linen spring watercolours by Flair, which never shows up as pretty as it is, and I think it just adds a lovely background to my Floral Boho Girl. Oh, okay. Next we have my, as I call it, blue tobacco, which is, and I've managed to get a bit more done in terms of I finished that internal square. And now I'm starting on the next layer of design. And I think I mentioned I'm doing it that way because this one too goes right to the edge of the fabric. So I can actually just, if I finish this next layer of design and decide that looks good enough and it gives me enough fabric on the edges, I might leave it at that, or I might complete the whole pattern right out to the edge. I haven't decided on that yet. But this is all in DMC 797. Oh God, I always say that. And then is it? No, it's 979. On linen in the colour tobacco. And I'm just really enjoying that. I do make lots of mistakes and have to unpick it. I knew, so far I've picked them up really quickly. You show really quickly when you get to a point and go, that should be closer. Well, that should be for the ring. So it does take a bit of concentration, but there's my blue tobacco and I love it. Speaking of Rachel the Nutmeg Stitcher, I saw this on her channel and she enabled me, and so here we are with Tall Birds by Doreen Jones. And that's how far I've gotten. When you last saw it, all I had done is this side panel. So everything else I've completed. And this is a joy to stitch because it is very block stitchy with lovely colours. And I do enjoy stitching on this lavender, 32 count lavender even weave. So that's my tall birds. Good progress, really enjoying that one too. Whipping through. Oh, now we have another new start. And actually this new start is a pattern project that I had seen Karen, the stitching owl, stitched this quite some time ago, and I just went, I need that pattern, I need it. And then the other day I was in my local needlework store, and I just saw it there and went, well, yes, that's coming home with me now. So let me show you, because I should have got it out of its package. Hold on. So I love it when things are on your wish list, but you don't go and get them, but then they come to you. That's how it feels, this did, even though I'd seen it before. This is a little gold collection kit. Look at those little guys. Yeah. Feline Love by Dimensions. You know, I made a bit of a rule for myself a few months ago when I started my other cat project, which is coming up, and that was a RTO kit. And of course, because you have to, well, you don't have to, but I don't like working from paper patterns. I want everything in my iPad. And so I have to get the pattern in there, and that's a fuss doing it with Markup RXP, and it works, but it's also a bit time consuming. And I thought, you know what? There are so many patterns that I love on the internet that I can get on PDF. So I just made a bit of a soft rule for me, no more kits. You know, there's plenty of, pick something else that is PDF. And I think since then I've bought 4 kits. So I have just decided to do the work. So of course, starting this means putting it into Markup RXP, sort of doing all of that work first. But I have got to start on it and arranging my threads, etc. like that. But here's my little start. My little teddy bear needle minder. Yeah. And you know, the start is 3 strands, 10th stitch, all blended. And yeah, I'm just like, that's a reminder, I'm doing a dimensions kit. So that's my little start on these little guys. Just the side of the wall there, oopsie. And what a cute little size for a little full coverage. Oh, just very happy with that. So thank you, Karen, for stitching that so I could see it and know that I want it, and then wait a few months until it came to me. Speak of the devil. Here's my little black cat, my little RTO kit, which I call Charlie, because this is just like my Charlie. Oh, wait, I should be showing you what it's going to look like. Wait, I should be getting that out of the... You think you're organised, and then find you're not at all. So that's my Charlie among black cats, and that's how far I've got. Now, I've done a lot of the body. Last time I had mostly just done the tail. That's where I was sort of up, I'd done that. So I've done a lot of the body, which is a lot of black and a lot of grey. And I've done bits of the sort of white lounge around it, but yeah. So that's where I'm at with that. I'm quite looking forward to, like, I feel like I'm close. Well, actually, I have a percentage, don't I? Yeah, I do have a percentage because I did put it into Markup RXP. So I'm 65% complete. And I'm 57% finished my Biscornu, which we can tell because I've done the front. And I'm 28% completed my BTS boys. And I'm 13% completed my sampler. Beautiful Charlie, who's sitting over on the lounge, and I'm quite impressed that she hasn't come onto my lap. She's actually sitting with her back to me, so maybe I've done something wrong today and she's not very happy with me. Oh, now we are at my Angel of Remembrance and Condolences, which I am colour completing. So oh no, I'll show you the picture first. Hold on. Because I can do that. I've just remembered as I'm doing this how to do a floss tube, you know. Okay, so here's my angel of remembrance and condolences. Condolences. And I am colour completing all the black first, theoretically. I think that's what I'm doing. With sulky 12 weight thread. So I've managed to get that much done. When you saw it last time, I just had one row of black all the way down. And it's really nice to start getting that negative shape appearing of the angel's wings starting to come in, just to remind me, even though I'm just stitching black, that, you know, I am stitching something. So that's good. Where am I at with her? I am 7%, which, you know, you can see by the size of the fabric. But I got a long way to go. Okay, we have another new start. Now this one's really interesting because this is the most spontaneous, unlike me purchase, in that I had gone to my local needlework store to get some fabric or to get some floss or to get some something, and as I was leaving I saw this on the sale table out the front. I just picked it up, my daughter was with me, and I said, Julie, I really like this. And she said, okay. And I said, but why would I stitch something like this? And she said, because you like it. And I'm like, yeah. And I bought it. Anyway, it too is a kit, and I've never seen this brand. I'm about to stitch a cushion for myself. And so it's, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Zhu Crafts. They're a Taiwanese company. And it's a really good kit. It's a really good kit, actually. You know what's funny? You know, this was a complete spontaneous purchase. And I think I'm almost enjoying this the most out of all my projects at the moment. And I put that down to, wait, there, being on 14 count Ada, I think. But check this out, right? Because it comes as a, it's already got the cushion finishing on it. And it's got, let's see, the back as well. So, with a split in it to put the cushion. So, you know, I really am stitching a cushion. I'm not stitching something that, oh, what will I do with it? I am thoroughly enjoying this kit. It is, you know, 1 strand, 2 strand, 3 strand, blended strands, like them all, but I am so enjoying the colours, and I think just the unusualness of it, as in it hasn't been sitting in a wish list for the last 4 or 5 years, and I haven't been thinking, will I do that next? And like, it just came to me and I'm going, yes, and I'm really enjoying that. So, excuse me. So, I think that is bright and lovely, and I am very much looking forward to having that. I had to fuss around with putting that in Markup RXP2, and it is in there, but only in sections, like because it was a big chart that I scanned in sections. I got one section in and just went, that's it, I'm starting it. I'll deal with the other sections afterwards. But I got that in, so that's good. Now, okay, that is all my projects at the moment. Kind of. There's one more, but I need it. It's in relation to books. So I need to talk to you about the reading that I've been doing now. Because because that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so in my last floss tube, I talked to you about the fact that I'd had such a good run on books. I had read some fantastic books, and I just was so thrilled with book after book after book. They were so good. And then I read, you know, another one and got, I don't know, a quarter of the way through and just thought, I don't like this. I'm not finishing it. And just went, oh, that's ruined my streak a bit. That's okay, you know, that's going to happen occasionally. So then I picked another one that I'd been wanting to read from an author I like for a while. And I did finish that one, but only just. I didn't love it. At which I'm not going to talk about the ones I didn't love because, you know, that's fine. So after two that I didn't love, after having had this good streak, I thought, right, look, I need to get serious about my next one. I need a good book. Yes. And I had remembered showing you the book and talking about the book, This Is Happiness by Niall Williams. And after reading that book, I thought, I want to read more of this author. I will read anything he's written because, oh my goodness. So I thought, right, I'm going to put that to the test. It's time to go and find another Niall Williams book. And so I went onto my library apps. I use Libby and BorrowBox to find a Niall Williams audiobook that was available. And the only one I could find, I thought, oh, here's one that's available, and it's called John. And I read what it was about, and it was about St. John, who is now in his 90s and has been exiled onto the island of Patmos of Greece with his other, what are they called? Not disciples, but like that. He was a disciple. He was a disciple of Jesus. Now he's in exile. He's very, very old, and they're all still waiting for Jesus's return. And it's just, that's what it's about. Now, I read that, Précy, and just went, oh, I don't know if I want to read about that. I just sort of thought, oh. But I stuck to my guns and thought, you know, I need to give this author, you know, the benefit of the doubt. So I decided to listen to that book. It was so good. It was so good. Highly recommend. John by Niall Williams. It was very absorbing and immersing. I really felt like I was in exile on the island of Patmos with these very devout Christians, followers of Christ, who are just trying to figure out this horrible world that they're in, where they've been exiled because of their faith. It was really, really good. Honestly, 10 out of 10 to Niall Williams. So far, 2 books, amazing. I'm going to read more. I've got more on reserve waiting to come, but that was a really, really good book. And then after that, oh, I picked the book The Covenant of Waters by Abraham Verghese. And honestly, I loved this book so much. Now it was very long, and that's why I've put off listening to it before. It's actually my sister-in-law, Kristen, who recommended this book through the family. She said, you've all got to read it. It's so good. You've got to read it. And I had known that for ages. Mum told me about it as well. And I kept thinking, yeah, I'll get to it. It's a 30-hour listen, you know, so I kept thinking, But then, like, when you're cross-stitching, it doesn't matter. I'm going to be stitching for 30 hours over the next period of time anyway. I might as well be listening to this. So I started this book, which is set in India and spans generations of one family through the 1900s. I enjoyed this book so much. It's so clever because you really get to know the characters, and they do behave in unexpected ways. They have unexpected trajectories in the novel. They'd be building up to one, you know, they need a doctor in the village, and this one young kid gets this insane opportunity as a young boy to save a baby and get it to a doctor who sort of shows him how to do things. And you think, this is going to be the beginning of him becoming a doctor and saving the village. No, that doesn't happen at all. But so it's always unexpected and real. It sort of seems real. I became so attached to the characters in this book that it was one of those ones that when it was finished, I literally started it again and listened to the first chapter again. One, because I wanted to revisit the chapter now knowing what happens, because it starts with the arranged marriage of a 12-year-old girl. It's always a lovely start, isn't it? And you just think, oh, how's this going to go to a 40-year-old widowed man? And so then I know about the life. So I went back and listened to the first chapter again. And part of me was like, I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to keep reading. But I thought, no, just listen to a couple of chapters just to get it out of your system. And then, but I really felt so fond of it that it was a bit hard to stop. So after that, I thought, what am I going to read next? Because I don't want to, it was going to be a difficult choice because anything I was not going to like after reading that. So I chose something quite different. I chose a non-fiction book that is called How to Speak Whale by Tom Mustill. And that has been on a reserve list for a while, or, you know, I'd go to borrow it and it wasn't quite available on audio. And I've had it on my list for so long, I actually can't remember how I came to it, who recommended it, how I know about it. But I just sort of thought, well, I think non-fiction is the way to go after reading The Covenant of Waters, because I needed something so different. My goodness, I'm so happy I read this book. I enjoyed it so much. The premise of How to Speak Whale is that Tom Mustill, and you know, maybe this is very well known, but it wasn't to me. Tom Mustill is I think, biologist and a environmental filmmaker. Yep, I think so. Anyway, one day, for leisure, he and a friend go out kayaking off in a group, a whale watching group off the coast of California. So in this whale watching group, suddenly a large whale breaches and smacks down on him and his friend's kayak. And they get plundered down to the bottom of the ocean and they think they're going to die. And they don't. They end up surfacing and just going, what the heck just happened? Oh my God, I've just had a whale land on me. What the heck? And it was a turning point in Tom Mustill's life where he decided he wanted to learn more about whales, that whale. And because he's a documentary filmmaker, I mean, okay, so here's the thing, right? Okay, no, I've got lots of things coming out at once. He then writes this book, How to Speak Whale, and he researches and talks to many animal communication scientific researchers. This book does get very scientific. There was times I was like, whew, I'm in a bit deep here, but I just kept going through because his love of the subject. I knew Charlie would come along sometime. Charlie, that means you have to show your face on camera and say hello to everybody. Oh, hello. Oh, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? Come on, yeah. Okay, so this book isn't just all about whales. It is about what we know about our ability to communicate with animals and animal communication. And, you know, he wrote this magnificent book about it. Oh, and the beautiful thing about this being an audiobook is it allows for the opportunity for him to put samples of animal noises in it, whale calls. So it's beautiful listening to some of that through. Oh man, what a great thing to have audio for that. But I was sort of thinking, like, what an extraordinary thing that this whale landed on a documentary filmmaker who then decided he wanted to make whales and animal communication the direction of his future career. Because I laughed to myself and thought, my goodness, if I had have gone on a whale watching tour and if a whale had have landed on me, what could I do? All they'd get from me is a cross stitch of a whale. And that made me laugh. And then I remembered Stitching with Charlie is starting a stitch along or a start along for her birthday month of May. And it is called Whale Hello There. And after finishing this book, I was so enamored with whales. I want to stitch a whale. And so I am. Now this one I haven't started yet. I would have, except my fabric is sitting at the shop waiting for me to go and pick it up. But I am starting this pattern that I'm about to show you. This is going to be my whale pattern for the whale stitch along, and I just love how it came about with Stitching with Charlie and the book by Tom Mustill, and now I want a whale pattern too. And it's my first stitch along, start along. It's just going to be a start along for me. But I'm really looking forward to stitching this. So happy birthday, Charlie. Speaking of Charlie, the most delightful video was posted the other day by somebody I've talked about before, the lovely Lucy from Stitch to My Lou. I love how she does that at the beginning of every video. She has put up a Flosstube extra, which is called Cats of Cross Stitch. She posted it on the 3rd of May. Oh my goodness, such a good idea. She basically just said, look, you know, there's a real crossover between cross stitch and not only cats, but pets. So it doesn't matter if it's your dog or your turtle or your bunny or your fish or whatever it is. She's like, but I think we'd all like to talk about them more. So I'm going to start it off, she says. And she then does a video. She then shows us her cats, Frida and Quincy, and talks all about them and has a list of questions and then tags other floss tubers for them to then talk about their animals answering these questions. And it was an absolute delight. Just go and watch Cats of Flosstube and join in. I want to see your pets too. And yeah, I will contribute too, but it's a really lovely video. Yeah. So as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for clicking on my videos and coming and spending time with me. Thank you for coming and saying hello in the comments. Please do that, whether you've already done it before or whether you're new to watching. Come say hi. I love meeting people in the comments. And let's just keep up the conversation as we cross stitchers like to do. Yeah. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much. Go now. Enjoy your stitching. I'm going to go and enjoy all of mine. May there be many more starts for me as well. I know I've just added in 3 or 4 and I hope there's going to be more because I'm really enjoying not being monogamous anymore. Fun, hey? Okay. Again, till next time. Bye.